I'm now here for my Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte full card predictions and breakdowns. And yes, this is a very interesting card, and I'm really hyped for it. Is it 20 quid worthy pay-per-view? No, but for some reason, I'm still really hyped for this. Anyway, let's get right into it, starting with Filip Hrgović versus David Adelaide. I'm going with Filip Hrgović to win this fight. I've seen so many people saying, oh, this is such an interesting fight, everybody. I really don't know what way it's going to go. It's so obvious that Filip Hrgović will win this fight. Look, David Adelaide couldn't deal with the jab of Jamie TKV. How's he going to deal with the jab in the lead hand of Filip Hrgović? Honestly, like, how is he going to be able to deal with that lead hand of Hrgović? He's going to get picked off easily. I'm going to say Hrgović wins a late stoppage win. I'm going to say like 8, 9, 10, something like that along those lines. Yeah, 8, 9, and 10 of my rounds. I think Hrgović is just going to pick David Adelaide off with that jab, with that lead hand, counter him with that backhand. David Adelaide's just going to walk into shots, and I feel like David Adelaide's going to end up following Filip Hrgović around the ring. One thing I will say about David Adelaide is that he does have decent distance control, but Hrgović has got a world-class lead hand. He's got a world-class jab. Jamie TKV has got a British-level jab and a British-level lead hand. And David Adelaide had no answer for that at any point in the fight. No point in the fight did David Adelaide have any answer for that jab of Jamie TKV. And Hrgović is nice and active behind that jab. And look, Hrgovic's power can be questioned about what level is it really, because the commentators say every fight, oh, Filip Hrgović has such big power. But does he really, though? I feel like he's definitely got enough power to knock someone like David Adelaide out. I mean, whether it's the power or just whether it's the IQ that Hrgović has got to knock him out, he's going to pick the right shots. He's going to catch David Adelaide coming in cold, not guarding his face whatsoever, and he's going to catch him coming in cold, and he's going to bust him up. He's going to hurt him in this fight. I think David Adelaide's going to lose every single round, 100%. He's not going to win a round against Filip Hrgović. And yeah, he's just going to get easily picked apart. Adelaide has power, but he's going to be so readable for Filip Hrgović. And plus, if he does catch Hrgović cold, Hrgović is going to be able to take it. Hrgović has got one of the best chins in the bloody division. He's not hurting Filip Hrgović here. And Filip Hrgović will take one and give you even bigger one back and an even, better flush shot back because, he's got way better IQ than what David Adelaide has. Yeah, Hrgović is going to win this one late stoppage. I don't think he's got the big power to take Adelaide out early. That's why I'm going late. It'll pick him off with that jab. Anyway, then we go to Heito Tatsumi versus Quace Ashfaq. This is such a mismatch. Tatsumi's going to just run right past Quace Ashfaq. I'm going to say Tatsumi wins this in the third round. He's going to easily win this fight. Quace Ashfaq, he's light on his feet, bops forward. He's just going to bop forward into a right hand of Tatsumi. Tatsumi, he makes things look so easy. He's 7-0, got a good amateur background and all. He's been pushed a lot, but I think this is such a mismatch. It's such a mismatch. Tatsumi's just going to be able to land a massive shot, and he's just going to catch Quace Ashfaq coming forward at him, counter him with a massive shot. And yeah, Ashfaq's not really going to land on Tatsumi. Tatsumi's so calm in there. It's just a cold killer in there. And Quace Ashfaq I just don't think he seems too relaxed. And he's going to get overexcited with his movements. And Tatsumi's just going to stay nice and calm, wait for the moment, and he's going to find him. And I feel like he's going to put Quace Ashfaq out cold, brutally, to be honest with you. Tatsumi's really smart when he picks his moments. He throws the right shots at the right time, manages the range well. Yeah, like he's very good at managing the range. And Ashfaq's going to be trying to jump in and out, but he's obviously going to get caught, and he's going to get caught hard here, to be honest with you. He's going to get caught with a left hook, right hook. To be honest with you, catch him with that lead hand, Tatsumi, then he'll just follow up with a massive right hook and get him out of there, to be honest with you. That's what I think is going to happen. It's not a competitive fight whatsoever. I see no way that Quace Ashfaq can win. He'll just leave his chin too high, and just literally just bop into a big shot. And yeah, Tatsumi will win this fight pretty simply, to be honest with you. 3rd round knockout for Heito Tatsumi. Okay, next up then we go to Raymond Ford versus Abraham Nova. Nova taking this fight on late notice after Kakache pulled out. I'm going with Raymond Ford to win this fight. I'm going to say Ford wins decision. Pretty convincing unanimous decision. I'm going to say Raymond Ford wins. Nova's a funny one. I mean, it hasn't really been going great for him in his last 2, especially. I think it's a loss and a draw. And then obviously, he's competed at the top level against some top level names, but lost, to be honest with you. Yeah, if I'm being real here, Raymond Ford's going to be able just to completely outbox Abraham Nova. Nova comes forward and does like to pressure you, but recently, Raymond Ford's been getting better and better at it, fighting fire with fire. And I really do like Raymond Ford because he's just got a real mixture, to be honest with you, to him. He's really, really, really fluid with how he lets his shots go. I think he was very good against Nick Bull. Even though he didn't get the win in that fight, he's very good. It was a very close fight, and he dealt with pressure well. Nova's a good pressure fighter who's going to come forward, look to take the front foot against Ford. But Ford's just going to be walking him onto that jab, and Nova's going to be getting countered all night. Nova's just there for Ford to be countered, to be honest with you. And, Nova's going to look to pressure him, but at times Ford might look to fight fire with fire, do that, and then look to angle change and then catch him, and then catch him a few times and look for counters. He's going to be very awkward with the jab, Raymond Ford, in this fight. Very awkward with the jab. And Nova's defense is very questionable, in my opinion. Nova's strong. He comes forward. He hits hard. He's got good power. He hits hard. But I feel like he likes his nice, don't know how to explain it, quite wide shots, wide, heavy shots that Nova likes to throw. And I feel like he leaves himself open at times. I feel like Ford's jab's going to catch him down the pipe. I feel like his backhand's going to catch Nova down the pipe quite a few times. Nova's tough. He'll be able to take it, and he's going to keep coming. But as the fight goes on as well, Ford's going to be able to keep on going. And if you against Nick Bull are able to go a full 12 rounds and even take over in the late stages of the fight, it shows how good of cardio you've got, and it shows how great a pace you can keep up. And that's exactly what Raymond Ford's got. So I'm going to go with Raymond Ford, unanimous decision, basically going to win every round here. He's just levels above Abraham Nova. Nova's good, but yeah, taking it on short notice as well doesn't help him out, and Ford's just too smart. Anyway, next up then, Nick Bull versus Sam Goodman. I'm going to go with a Nick Bull win here. I'm going to say Nick Bull gets a late stoppage over Sam Goodman, rounds 10, 11, I'm going to say for Nick Bull. Goodman's good, and Goodman's going to get success, and I reckon it's a fight where Goodman could be up against Nick Bull before he gets stopped. Goodman's going to be good behind the jab, and Goodman's actually a really good counter puncher, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold up for 12 rounds against Nick Bull. I don't think Nick Bull's going to let him hold up against him. Bull's going to get to him. Bull's going to eventually break him to the body and hurt him and get to him upstairs. He's going to be able to finish him off. Goodman's going to get tired. He's going to be able to outwork Nick Bull. He's going to, again, outwork Nick Bull something. I'm not going to say outwork. I'm just going to say he's going to be able to catch him off behind the jab, counter him quite a bit, move. I think Goodman's got good footwork. I think he's got good movement. I feel like he's going to be able to stay away from Nick Bull for a bit. But Nick Bull's going to break him. Nick Bull's going to be landing some sneaky shots as we go. Nick Bull's going to have his blast and moments. Nick Bull's always going to be in front of him. Sam Goodman's going to be able to box well off the back foot here and there, but he's not going to be able to take the front foot against Bull at any point in this fight whatsoever. Nick Bull's going to be on the front foot, on him, always making Goodman think, and Goodman's eventually going to get caught. He's eventually going to get hurt. He's eventually going to get broken down by Nick Bull. Goodman I reckon it could be one of those where Goodman's going to be up on the card, but Nick Bull's just slowly breaking it. Goodman's going to be up. He's going to be good behind the jab. He's going to be able to counter Nick Bull. He's going to, make Nick Bull think. But, yeah, Nick Bull's going to eventually break him. And I feel like that's safe to say. Nick Bull's going to break him. Nick Bull's going to win rounds 10, 11, in my opinion. He's just too relentless, and Goodman's not strong enough to be able to outman Nick Bull, in my opinion. And Nick Bull's going to be able to bully him in the clinches quite a bit as well, which is going to help him get success. But I feel like it's going to be body work that breaks Goodman here, in my opinion. So I'm going to say Nick Bull late. Anyway, then we go to our main event where we got Moser the Itauma versus Dillian Whyte. I'm going with Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte. I'm actually going with Dillian Whyte to win this fight. People are going to say, oh, how stupid I am for saying that. But I honestly think Dillian Whyte will win. I think if Dillian Whyte can push Moser the Itauma back, then that's going to make things interesting. If Whyte can get a body breakdown going, that's going to be interesting. If Whyte can catch Itauma early, that's going to be interesting. I feel like he can do those things. And he's looking in really good shape at the moment as well. It's one where he knows his career is on the line. And I feel like Whyte's going to take it. I'm going with a Dillian Whyte. I'm going to go with a Dillian Whyte decision win. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get a decision against Itauma, but surely, I think Whyte's going to do enough. I think Whyte's going to be able to beat him down as we go, to be honest with you. I feel like it will go the distance. But Whyte's going to hurt Itauma and get to him here. And I think the thing with Moser Itauma is we just don't know how good he is yet. He's knocked out Dempsey McKean, Mike Balogun. They're his two biggest wins, and people think that he can now beat Usyk. Look, I like Moser Itauma, and if he loses this fight, which I think he will, I don't think he's overhyped. I just feel like it's one that's too soon for him, and Dillian Whyte's going to be too experienced for Moser Itauma here, in my opinion. And Moser Itauma can leave his chin quite high as well, and I think Whyte's going to get to him. And we also don't know how can Itauma go in those later rounds. Dillian Whyte can, he's not exactly got great cardio as it goes on, but he can slug it out and he carries his power for the whole 12 rounds. I don't know that about Moser Itauma. I think Whyte can back him up, and I think Whyte's going to get to him, and I feel like Whyte can beat him down. Itauma could be up, but I think Whyte's going to eventually take over. I think Dillian Whyte might drop Moser Itauma in this fight as well, possibly in the mid-rounds. Early mid-rounds, I reckon Whyte might drop Itauma. Itauma then comes in. I feel like it's going to be interesting, but I think Whyte's going to win a decision. Now, I'm going to say mid-rounds, Whyte drops him after Itauma's doing well early on. Mid-rounds, Whyte will drop him, and I think Whyte might take over from there and beat down Moser Itauma. I feel like he'll be able to hold on Itauma. I think he can get some success of his own here, definitely, but I feel like Dillian Whyte might beat him down to a decision, to be honest with you. I really do. It's interesting. Itauma leaves his chin high. I think Whyte's going to be able to land that right hand. On his day, he's one of the hardest hitters in the division, to be honest with you. Itauma's a tough southpaw who's got very good lead hand feints. Very hard to win the lead hand battle against. But again, we don't know how good Moser Itauma is right now. I mean, he's certainly a guy who we all know has bloody amazing talent, of course. He has great talent. He's ridiculously talented, Moser Itauma. But Dillian Whyte, I think, is going to end up being too experienced for him. And I feel like Dillian Whyte's going to be able to outman him. I think Whyte's going to have to get in there. I feel like Whyte's going to get on the inside. And I feel like he's going to get to the body of Moser Itauma. I feel like he's going to catch him upstairs quite a few times. I feel like he will eventually end up dropping Moser Itauma. Will Itauma gas late on? I think he will. I think he will gas late on, and I think Dillian Whyte is going to be able to beat him down. I don't think he will take Moser Itauma out. I can't picture Itauma getting knocked out in this fight, but I can picture him getting dropped though. But yeah, it's a really intriguing fight. It's a really intriguing fight where I feel like anything can happen in it. But I'm going with Dillian Whyte to win a decision. He could stop him. I might change my mind. But no matter what, I'm going with a Dillian Whyte win. It could be a stoppage. It could be a decision. I'm just going to say a Dillian Whyte win. I actually can picture him possibly knocking Itauma. I don't know. But no, I'm going with Dillian Whyte. But no, literally no one else is. But I'm saying Whyte will win.